If English spelling drives you nuts but you still want to master it, here's the secret sauce. English spelling can be a real challenge, even for native speakers. The rules often seem inconsistent, and there are so many exceptions that it can feel like you need to memorize each word individually. But don't worry, with a few tips and tricks, you can start to see patterns and make sense of the chaos. Let's dive in and make English spelling a bit more manageable. Let's break down some of the trickiest spelling rules in English. Understanding these rules can help you spell more confidently and accurately. We'll start with some of the most common rules and then move on to some of the more peculiar ones. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of strategies to tackle even the most perplexing words. First up, the classic I before E except after C. So it's believe. But receive. Easy, right? This rule helps with words like believe, relief, and thief. But remember, there are exceptions like weird and C's. Next, silent letters. Why is there a K in night or a B in doubt? Silent letters can be particularly confusing because they aren't pronounced, yet they must be included in the spelling. These letters often have historical roots, reflecting how the words were pronounced centuries ago. These letters were pronounced long ago, but today, they're just hanging out quietly. For example, the K in night was once pronounced, as was the B in doubt. Understanding the history of these words can sometimes make it easier to remember their spellings. Now let's tackle double consonants. Double consonants can be tricky, but there's a simple rule to help you out. When adding endings like ed or ing, double the consonant if it's a short vowel sound before it. This rule helps maintain the short vowel sound in the word. When adding endings like ed or ing, double the consonant if it's a short vowel sound before it. For example, stop becomes stopped, and run becomes running. This rule helps to keep the pronunciation consistent and makes the words easier to read and understand. For example, stop becomes stopped, and run becomes running. This rule is particularly useful for verbs, ensuring that their past and present participle forms are spelled correctly. Now, let's move on to another common challenge, homophones. Oh, and those pesky homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same but have different meanings and spellings. They can be a real headache because it's easy to mix them up, especially when writing quickly or under pressure. Words that sound the same but have different meanings and spellings, like there, and there. These words can trip up even experienced writers. The key to mastering homophones is understanding their meanings and using context to determine the correct spelling. Context is key to mastering these. Finally, prefixes and suffixes. Adding prefixes and suffixes to root words can change their meanings entirely. Understanding how these word parts work can greatly expand your vocabulary and improve your spelling.